Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Well, I have been doing some reflecting over the last couple of weeks. And you guys, I have to admit something. First of all, I have to apologize to some of you because I think some of you I upset, and probably rightfully so. I did a video a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago about my quail. It's been a long time since I did a quail video. And in that video, I told you guys about a lot of the problems that I was having with aggression in my quail. For about the last year, I've really battled just having super aggressive quail. Now, I've been raising quail on and off for 6 or 7 years now, and quail are always somewhat aggressive. The males are pretty aggressive when they breed. Females can get territorial, and there will be spats from time to time. But what I'm talking about as far as aggression in the quail that I currently had is, super aggression, where I would come out in the morning and there would be 2 or 3 quail with most of the skin missing off of their head. So this was like an extraordinary problem. I tried a lot of different things to fix that problem. I tried to take out the quail that I could tell were being aggressive. That didn't really seem to fix anything. I culled entire cagefuls of quail thinking that, okay, this is just one bad cage full. That didn't really solve the problem. I adjusted how many hours of light I gave them per day. At times I even left them with no artificial light at all. Nothing seemed to be helping the problem. I talked to a few people that raise quail, like a lot of quail, and they gave me some advice. And finally, the advice that I had settled on was to really restrict the amount of space that each quail had. What it ended up being is that in a cage this size here, I'd have this divided into 3 sections, and I would actually put 6 quail into each one of these sections. So 18 quail in this top cage. And I showed you guys that on a video. I did that video just a day or so after I put the quail into those tight spaces, and at the time, at least temporarily, it seemed to be resolving the fighting issues. Now, I think because of how long all of this had gone on with the aggression, that I kind of just was giving up. I was just kind of at a point where I was like, I don't know what else to try. I guess this is the last resort. It seems to be working, and I'm just going to have to convince myself that this is an okay way to be raising the quail. And that's kind of where I was at mentally when I did that video. But you guys, after hearing a lot of your comments and really after taking a hard look at how that was going, even though it did for the most part resolve most of the aggression issues, I just didn't feel good about raising quail in that way. And there's one thing that we've been dedicated to on our homestead, on every homestead we've ever had, and that is that the animals have to come first. If we're not able to raise them in a way that we feel is good for the animals, then we either stop raising them or we figure out a better way to do it. And so after really having the quail crammed in these cages for about a week, I just was not happy with the way it was going. First of all, there was still some fighting going on. The quail just didn't seem happy, if I can try to explain how happy quail seem. I don't know. They just didn't seem... I could just tell it wasn't going to be the way I wanted to do things long term. So after taking all of that into consideration, this past weekend I decided I was going to just process every quail that I own to try to get rid of those bad genetics out of my quail. So as of right now, I don't have any quail here on the homestead at all. But I'm excited because I'm starting over with completely new genetics. After that last video, there was a great hatchery that reached out to me, AJ Farms. They let me know that they not only breed their quail for quality and size of the quail, but also for temperament. And that they were willing to send me some new eggs if I wanted to start over with new genetics. So I actually just got those eggs in the mail the other day. So let's go back in time just a couple days when those arrived in the mail. Well, you guys, I'm excited. I just got a package in the mail. Actually, it arrived yesterday, but I just opened it up because I let it sit to kind of get acclimated here in the house before I opened it up. It's from AJ Farms. AJ Farms sells some fantastic quail eggs. After my last video where I was kind of showing you guys some of the issues that I've been having for about a year now with our quail, they were kind enough to reach out and let me know that they are breeding what are called the jumbo meat maker quail, and that they specifically breed for temperament. That's one of the things that they really put a high importance on. They were kind enough to send me some eggs. They sent me 100 eggs, and it looks like a few extras in here as well. So I'm really excited to get these going. Looks like they sent me some cage cards. I know they sell these on their website. I was looking at that last night actually. These are cards that you can hang on your cages. Comes with a dry erase marker, so you can keep track of like when the eggs hatched and everything like that. A quail scissors, which of course everybody needs. And these are cool because these are egg cartons that they sell that are specifically for jumbo quail eggs. A lot of them that you order on Amazon and things, you need to be really careful with because they're shorter and they kind of crush your jumbo eggs. So these are cool because they're specifically for the jumbo eggs. But let's get down to the eggs here so we can actually see what we have here. Well, it looks like all of the eggs are here. I'm going to carefully take these out. They ship them in these nice foam containers. I don't see any that are obviously cracked. That doesn't mean there couldn't be tiny little cracks. There's always a risk when you're ordering eggs through the mail, but it looks to me like they all made it pretty safely. Our temperatures have been just about perfect, I think, for eggs to be coming through the mail. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get these all loaded in the incubator. I will do another video when these start to hatch so we can see how they did. But you guys, I'm really excited to be starting over with new genetics in my quail and hopefully finally be done with all of the aggression issues. So you guys, I got the eggs put in the incubator that same day that I shot that part of the video. So they've been in the incubator now for only about 2 or 3 days, but I'm excited because in just a couple weeks or, 15 days or so, I should have some quail hatching out and I can finally start over. And hopefully this time, these new quail, these jumbo meat makers, will be a calmer variety, and I really do hope that, I can raise them back in the way that I have all along, which is about, 6 quail in an entire cage this size. These are really nice breeding cages. These are the ones that I made last year. I actually like these the best because they're a little bit bigger than these. So my plan is to go back to put just one clutch in each of these cages and not have them so crammed together. So you guys, be praying that all of this works out for me, because to be honest, if this experiment doesn't work and these end up being just as much trouble as the first round of quail, I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. There's a good chance that at that point I'll just decide quail are not going to be for me. But I really don't think that's going to be the case. I've raised quail for a long time in the past and I've never had this type of aggression before, and I'm really not expecting it again. So that's it for the quail. Again, I apologize that some of you were kind of upset with me about raising those quail, but sometimes it just takes a little time to take a step back, have some reflection, and realize that, it just wasn't the right thing to be doing, and it's time to come up with a new plan. So we do have some other exciting things to talk to you about around the homestead today as well. Some may be quite shocking to you, but some are very exciting as well. So let's move on to other parts of the homestead.
Now, on a recent video, we were talking with you guys. We gave you an update on our dairy cows because we hadn't been talking much about them for quite a while. And the main reason is because we weren't milking them. We weren't doing much with them. Rose, we had been trying to get her bred for about 2 years. We did lots of different techniques to try to get her bred. We had even had the vet look at her. And ultimately, we decided to put her in with our bull. At the same time that we put Rose in with our bull, we decided to put our heifer, Babe, in with our bull also, because she hadn't been bred either. We were hoping that we would be getting calves very soon, but we didn't know. In that last video, we were hoping that both of them were bred, but we didn't know. We hadn't done any pregnancy tests, we hadn't done blood tests. but we had let you know that we had just sent off the pregnancy test to the lab. So we have gotten those results back, and I'm very happy and relieved to say that Rose is bred. We're expecting her to calve sometime in September. Now the bad news is, even though Babe was in with the bull since November 30th, that's many opportunities for her to cycle, come into heat and be bred, she is open. She is not bred. So Kevin and I have contacted one of our local vets, and she is actually coming out this week to examine Babe and maybe do an ultrasound and see what's going on, to see why she isn't getting bred. I'm really excited to speak with her because she actually has a master's degree in bovine fertility and fertility problems. Her name is Dr. Nickmeyer. She's a really great lady. You guys actually met her when we had her come out to check some of our pigs, and Donna, when we were having trouble with her, she had a hernia. Donna did, not Dr. Nickmeyer. So she's a great lady. She's the one that's going to be coming out this week to tell us what's going on with Babe. So we still have hopes that we can get her bred soon after we figure out what is going on with her. In that update video, we were so frustrated and disappointed, but now I feel like there's a new hope. We're really excited that Rose is bred, and by late summer, early fall, we'll be milking again and producing so many dairy products for our family.
The next thing that we want to talk to you guys about today will probably shock a lot of you, and it's probably the biggest shock that you're going to have on this video. It's something that we've been talking about off camera for quite a while. It's something we've been pondering for quite a while, and that is that we have decided to stop breeding the Idaho pasture pigs, or pigs in general. We love the Idaho pasture pigs, and we love raising pigs for meat for our family, but we have not enjoyed the breeding process of the pigs nearly as much as we thought we would. With everything else that we have going on around the homestead and the farm, we just don't have the time to dedicate solely to the pigs the way that we should, and because of that, we've decided to stop breeding the Idaho pasture pigs. Now, I know that a lot of you will probably be surprised, especially for me, because I've told you time and time again that the pigs are my favorite animals on the homestead, and to a large degree that is still true. Like I said, we love raising pigs during the summertime when we can just get some in the spring, raise them up for food, and process them in the fall. We really do believe that pastured pork is a great thing. Just that breeding them and everything that goes into that has turned into what really should be a full-time job. And with everything else we raise here on the homestead, between having our greenhouse and kind of the plant nursery that we sell at the farmers market, and our American breast chickens and our cattle and everything else, we just don't have the time to dedicate to the pigs to do the service that we think we should be doing.
Now we are going to continue raising feeder pigs, like Kevin said, for our family.
Right.
Our plan is to continue doing that every single year, getting 1 or 2 or however many our family needs, continue to utilize this area that we built for pigs,
right,
and have them here to raise for meat for our family.
Right. So really the only time you guys won't be seeing pigs on the homestead is over the winter time, which really will make things easier for us as well, because we do have a lot of extra responsibility over the winter as it is. You know, now that we have the cattle, we have about total between the beef cattle and the dairy cows, about 25 head of cattle. And that is a lot of extra work in the winter. So it'll be nice to kind of have some time off from the pigs over winter. Now, we have already found homes for 2 of our pigs. As many of you know, Linda, who's right here behind us, is pregnant. She's going to be having piglets shortly. And we've actually found a new home who's going to be getting her later this week. She'll have time to settle in at her new home before she has the piglets. And then we've actually worked a deal, though, that we will get 2 of her piglets back to be able to raise up for food this summer. So really, we won't be without pigs very long before we get some of the piglets back from Linda.
That family is not only taking Linda, they're also taking Carol. So the 2 of them will be together from our homestead And it will be really nice to be able to follow them along.
Right. So we do still have Charlie, who is our boar, and Myrtle, who is just an unregistered IPP. Myrtle, we're not exactly sure what we're going to be doing with yet. We don't really want to sell her. And Charlie is for sale. If anybody is interested in Charlie, he is a great boar and he is really good at doing his job.
Now there are a couple things surrounding us stopping breeding pigs that we wanted to talk with you guys about. The first one is that really on our homestead, we really like to be sustainable in that we can breed the animals that we raise so that we can raise their offspring for meat and then continue breeding. But by getting rid of our pig breeders, it won't allow us to do that.
We made this decision with that in mind. We do know that, by getting rid of all of our sows and our boar, we'll no longer be able to breed pigs and be sustainable in that way here on the homestead, kind of a closed herd kind of deal. But you guys, the truth is that the pigs are by far the least sustainable animal that we have here on the homestead. And we've talked to you guys about this in other videos. It's been no surprise. We actually did a video just a while back, and I'll link to it if I can find it, where we talked about what would we do if the feed stores went away. And a lot of you were surprised when I said in that video, the first thing we would do is get rid of the pigs. And that's because even though these Idaho pasture pigs will eat grass, they cannot survive just on grass.
Right.
Now that is not a downside of the breed. That's true of any pig. They're not going to survive solely on grass. They need other things as well. Since we can't or don't produce all of those other things that they need here on the homestead, we do rely heavily on packaged feed, bagged feed for them along with grass. So they really are not sustainable in the way a lot of people would think, but that doesn't mean they're a bad thing to raise. We absolutely love raising them, which is why we're going to continue on.
And honestly, you guys, the most sustainable animal that we have here on the homestead are our beef cattle, because they're 100% grass fed,
right,
off of the grass from our pastures and the hay from our hay field. And we've really kind of been surprised how much we really enjoy raising those beef cattle and really like the security knowing that they really are 100% sustainable for us and we can grow all of their food.
So you guys, this was a hard decision to make. Don't let it fool you that we're kind of talking about it casually now. This was a very hard decision to make. When we got into breeding the pigs, we really thought it was going to be something that we really enjoyed, and it just didn't turn out that way. You know, the one thing that I want to say, and whenever we do a video like this, and I know we talk about, things come and go from the homestead, and let's just say there's varying opinions that we get in comments after videos like this, and that's kind of a nice way of putting it. But let me say this. These types of decisions about what animals to raise and how long to raise animals for, these types of decisions go on every single day on homesteads and farms around the world.
Right.
As farmers or as homesteaders, we try things, we give it a good shot. We've been breeding the pigs now for 4 years. I feel like we gave it a fair shot, so we knew what we were doing. But these decisions happen every day. The difference is we broadcast ours to, 750,000 people.
Right.
But you guys, these are the types of decisions that if you're getting into homesteading, you need to be able to make. Just because you start something doesn't mean you need to continue doing it if you don't feel like you're doing a good job at it or if you're not enjoying it.
Right.
But on the same hand, you shouldn't get into something and get back out quickly. You need to give it a fair shot.
So that's our update with the pigs. You guys, we're excited to continue bringing you videos with pigs. Just will not include breeding in the near future. Now,
Right.
There is one more update that we want to give you guys. We're going to end on a high note, an exciting note. So let's head over there so we can give you some really great news. Well, the last update is about our American breast chickens. Now, last year we let you guys know that we were switching away from raising Cornish cross chickens for meat for our family because we wanted a breed of chicken that was more sustainable, that could provide us both eggs and meat. And we did a lot of research into what breed, what variety would be best for us, and we settled on the American breast chicken. American breast chickens are actually, they originate in France, and they were once considered the best tasting chicken around, ever.
In France, they call them French breast chickens. Weird, huh?
They just call them breast chickens. Actually, the breast chickens that came over to the United States, they were not allowed to be called French breast chickens.
Or just breast chickens.
Or just breast chickens. They have basically almost kind of like a copyright on that chicken over there. So it needed, the name needed to change, but it's the same genetics, same breed. Anyway, two of the main reasons why we decided to go with the American breast chicken is that they lay earlier than a lot of the other large breed dual purpose chickens.
Right.
They start laying around 16 weeks. And when you hatch those eggs out so that they can grow into meat chickens, those meat chickens are ready to be processed also around 16 weeks, which is earlier than most of the other dual purpose breeds that can be used for meat.
Right, and they're larger at that age, so that's a definite plus.
Yeah.
Now, what we're experiencing with the breast chickens is that they're fantastic foragers.
Yeah.
They love to be out foraging. In fact, this summer might be a little interesting trying to contain them in the chicken moat because they really want to be out foraging, and well, we'll see. I think we're going to have to clip some wings. Let's put it that way, because they're also great flyers. But all that being said, we have fallen in love with this breed of chickens. And because of that, not only are we continuing on with them, but just this morning, we loaded our very first breast eggs into the incubator.
Now, we have wanted to be able to offer breast chicks and hatching eggs for the breast chickens to those people in our area that are interested. And now is the time where we are going to be able to begin offering those things to people.
Yeah, we're excited about that, especially now as we're kind of decreasing with the pigs, and we'll have a little more time to spend on the chickens. Like I said, we've really fallen in love with these chickens. So yes, when these chicks hatch, some of them will be for our own food supply, but we will have some chicks available as well once they hatch.
Now, we are not going to be starting a wait list. That's just in the past been too much for us. It's been kind of overwhelming to track people down and arrange all of that. So when we have chicks available and when we have hatching eggs available, we will post that on our Facebook page, our Living Traditions Homestead Facebook page, and we will make those arrangements at that time with whoever is interested at that time. Right,
yeah. So keep a watch on our Facebook page. That's where we'll post all of those things when we have them for sale. So you guys, it has been kind of an up and down roller coaster on the homestead over the last couple of weeks. Some very kind of sad things with the quail, but then some good things with the quail, some sad things with the pigs, getting rid of them, but also some kind of relief with the pigs, knowing that we can continue raising feeders, but kind of be done with the whole breeding process. And then, you know, exciting news, one of our cows is pregnant, one isn't pregnant, and finally, exciting news with the chickens.
So you guys, we're so glad that you come by and experience these ups and downs with us. We know that you really enjoy knowing what's going on the homestead and kind of what we're thinking and what it is that we, you know, how we come to these decisions.
Right, and we really are trying to be committed to giving you guys a true picture of what this lifestyle looks like and the decisions that go into it.
And sometimes things work out and sometimes things don't work out, and it's okay when they don't work out. You just pivot and go another direction.
Right. So you guys, if you're enjoying our videos, we sure hope that you'll hit that subscribe button before you leave. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, the absolute best way that you can help us here on our homestead is just by sharing our videos on all of your social media so that others may enjoy them as well. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.